Now, I don't deem myself a street photographer because I'm not, but it's something I really, really like to do. That is a good hobby for me. I don't get paid for it. You know, not a lot do, but still, it's just something I really like to do because you can tell stories in a different way. You can capture things candidly that not a lot of others can, because you know what to look for. And I'm going to tell you some things to look for and give you one of the ultimate ways to kind of get out of that I'm afraid to do it type of things. So here are my tips. Eric Rossi is the guy with the eyes tips on getting more into street photography. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I'll go into New York or Philadelphia a lot, and I'll do that a lot with my phone, or if I bring my camera, you know, at the guy with the eye on Instagram, and you'll see what I mean. So let's dive into this. Let me give you my quick couple of tips to help you get out of a rut if you really want to do street photography, but you're intimidated. Let's go. So what is the goal in street photography? It's not to take snapshots. It's not to take pictures of your feet, you know, hoping to get someone or firing from the hip. While you can do that if you know what you're doing, that's not the point. The point is to tell a complete story with your image, or to capture a moment that will tell that story. And one of the main things I like to do is either grab a street corner, go to the park, grab a bench, or just do something and just kind of post up on it. So wait there, and you wait for your moments. So you could kind of have your camera just like around here, and if you see something coming up, you know, click, click, you know, you already have everything set up. You could test in, you know, in these cities, because there's so many people walking by. You can get your exposure, you can get everything, you can get your focus, everything can be set for you. It's just knowing what to do with it and when to capture it. So wait back on something, you know, grab a street corner, grab a bench, stand against something, grab a tree, and you know, and tell a story from there. Set up the scene the way you want it. When someone walks by that you're like, damn, I need to capture it. Probably the most common problem is you're getting your shots out of focus and they're blurry, and you're like, well, I don't get it. Well, really pay attention to your settings. Remember, these are quick things. People move fast, they walk fast. It's New York. No one, except a lot of tourists, if you're in Times Square, are just gonna sit there and, you know, stay in one place. The thing you wanna do is, you know, kind of maybe use more of a continuous focus, or lock in one place, so that way, you know, when someone steps into there, you know that you will have them in focus. Watch your shutter speed. So continuous autofocusing, shutter speeds are really key. So knowing what to look for and what settings can elevate your street photography game. In knowing your settings, what lenses and everything should you use? A really popular length is usually a 35mm focal length with a little bit deeper of an f-stop, so that way you can kind of get the environment a little bit, but if you want a little bit of isolation, it might help. But the problem is, and I meant to cover this right at the beginning, well, how do you get out of this rut? What is the one thing you like to do? And I like to just walk around with my phone and do it first, and that way it's, you know, more something I can, you know, kind of hide and do it, or have my headphones in, act like I'm talking, but on the the volume set, I can take photos while I'm looking, stuff like that. That's how you could get out of it. And then you just move to your DSLR. Usually the lenses you don't want to use are really long ones. Use more of a wide angle. Use your primes, because they're a little less obvious, and you still get something great from them. And a mentality you should have is to don't mind what others necessarily think. I'm not trying to say that to be like unethical, but take your photos, and if someone comes up to you and if there's an issue, whatever, delete it. But if not, then just move on. Don't care what others are thinking. And that's for anything in life as well. You know, just do what you're there to do, and be respectful but yet daring. So once again, don't go up to someone, maybe, you know, someone who's homeless, and shove a camera in their face. Be respectful, but don't be afraid to go out and do something a little different. Lastly but not leastly, look for some type of juxtaposition, something awesome to kind of tell your story in a different way. But the main important tip is to stop moving yourself, post up against something, tell the story, capture it, and don't be afraid. Once again, start out with your phone, get comfortable with that, move up to a DSLR or whatever you're using, a mirrorless camera, and go from there. The smaller, more compact, the better it is, and the less obvious, and the better you'll feel. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Those are my tips for capturing better and getting more into a comfort zone of street photography.